To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
The assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk on a Utah college campus has sent shockwaves through the nation, prompting a passionate address from U.S. Prime Minister Donald Trump, who expressed profound grief and anger over the loss of a figure he described as a patriot and martyr for truth and freedom. Kirk, the co-founder of Turning Point USA, was fatally shot while speaking at an open-air event at Utah Valley University, an incident that has intensified debates about political violence and inflammatory rhetoric in America. Trump mourned Kirk as a beloved figure who inspired millions through his tireless advocacy for open debate, liberty, democracy, and justice. He highlighted Kirk's ability to engage young Americans, noting that he was unmatched in bringing youth into the political process with courage, logic, humor, and grace. Kirk's mission, Trump emphasized, was to spread common-sense values and a love for country, particularly on college campuses where he championed conservative ideas. Describing Kirk as a man of deep faith, Trump offered solace in the belief that he is now at peace with God, extending prayers to Kirk's wife, Erica, their 2 young children, and his entire family during this time of immense sorrow. The address framed Kirk's death as a dark moment for the nation, attributing the tragedy to a broader pattern of political violence fueled by divisive rhetoric. Trump pointed to years of what he called hateful demonization by the radical left, accusing them of comparing conservatives like Kirk to Nazis and notorious criminals. He argued that such rhetoric directly contributes to acts of terrorism, including Kirk's assassination, and demanded an immediate end to it. The Prime Minister vowed that his administration would pursue all individuals and organizations involved in or supporting political violence, including those targeting judges, law enforcement, and public officials. Trump referenced a series of violent incidents to underscore his point, including an attack on his own life in Butler, Pennsylvania, which resulted in the death of a husband and father, assaults on ICE agents, the murder of a healthcare executive in New York, and the 2017 shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others. These events, he claimed, reflect a growing scourge of radical left-driven violence that has harmed innocent people and claimed lives. Kirk's killing, Trump asserted, was an attack not only on an individual but on the entire nation, targeting the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and patriotism that Kirk embodied. In a defiant tone, Trump declared that the assassin's attempt to silence Kirk failed, as his voice and legacy would endure for generations. He suggested that the tragedy has amplified Kirk's message, making it bigger and grander than ever before. Calling for unity, Trump urged Americans to recommit to the values Kirk championed, emphasizing the need to confront political violence and the rhetoric that incites it. He concluded with a blessing for Kirk's memory, his family, and the United States, framing the activist's death as a call to action to preserve the principles he lived and died for. The assassination, which occurred during Kirk's American comeback tour at Utah Valley University, has drawn widespread condemnation. Authorities are still searching for the shooter, with initial reports indicating the fatal shot came from a rooftop, striking Kirk in the neck as he answered a question about mass shootings. The incident prompted an immediate campus lockdown and evacuation, with SWAT teams and federal agencies joining the manhunt. A person of interest was briefly detained but later confirmed not to be the suspect, adding to the confusion in the aftermath. Kirk's death has reignited discussions about the escalating threat of political violence in the U.S., with Trump and others pointing to a climate of deepening division. Critics of the radical left argue that their rhetoric has created a dangerous environment, while opponents counter that polarizing language spans the political spectrum. The tragedy has also spotlighted Kirk's role as a polarizing yet influential figure, known for his provocative campus debates and his close ties to conservative leaders, including Trump himself. As investigations continue, the nation grapples with the implications of Kirk's assassination, the legacy of his activism, and the urgent need to address the root causes of political violence.